They say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet, gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen, in Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now.
Hello and welcome to the Farmer's Kitchen. We're the farmers, this is our kitchen. And look what we have in front of us, Mrs. Farmer.
Lots of pretty stuff.
Are you hungry?
I'm always starving, thank you.
So we were at Kelly's the other day, and we're picking something up. I can't remember what was going on. We said, what'd you have for dinner? And she said,
Peppers, stuffed peppers.
and I knew we had peppers from Mac, and I knew that we had corn and all kinds of fresh stuff. So I thought, all right, there are no rules to stuffed peppers. You can use whatever you've got. Something I would highly recommend for folks out there who want to do things for themselves. Find yourself a grinder, meat processor like this. Get you one with a good heavy motor on it.
That one's 20 years old.
That's 20 years old.
Nice
we make sausage.
Yes.
Anytime we want to make sausage, say we don't have any mild Italian sausage, we pull some pork out, pop it in there, put some fennel seeds, some oregano, some fresh basil, some salt and pepper, maybe a little sage, and boom, you're good to go. So that being said, we have some fresh turkey over here. We're gonna go with ground turkey tonight because we need to use that turkey up. So let's get started on our stuffed pepper. These are bell peppers, different colors. Are they different types of peppers? Nope. They're at different stages in their lives.
It's interesting, isn't it?
The longer or shorter you leave them on there, they will turn color. There's also a yellow. And when you're stuffing a pepper, you can cut them, you can cut the top off, or you can actually cut them. If they want to lay down and can't stand up, you can actually cut the top off and have that like that. You can cut them in half, or you can cut a little bit of the top off, depending on how much of the pepper you want to use. So Mrs. Farmer is going to top these three, and she's going to make a sideways boat out of that one. And we're simply going to take these, seeds them. We're going to take a little bit of olive oil and prep these, just brush these with olive oil. And I'm going to put a little chili, my chili seasoning on there, just to go ahead and give them some flavor while they're cooking. But we're gonna go 375, and we're gonna put the base of it down. We're actually gonna turn those the other way once we get going here. And if a little olive oil gets in your pan, that's all good too. So I'm gonna go ahead and put just a little bit of my chili seasoning in here, and you can use taco seasoning, but I like
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I like a chili mix. So that's gonna go ahead and give that some flavor. We're gonna put just a little bit of olive oil inside of here too, because you can't get too much olive oil.
Want them all flip?
Yep. Also, I'm gonna put just a little bit on the outside. Just a little bit.
Those look pretty.
That way you have some flavor going. Those are ready to go.
All right.
Let me pop them in, let me.
Open the oven because I'm a mess.
All right, so we've got our peppers in. Look at them beautifully, beautifully cooking back there.
They look really good.
So we're gonna go 15, 20 minutes on those and keep an eye on those. Meanwhile, what we're gonna do over here is, hand me that olive oil if you will. We're gonna start some onions, and if you wanna put them in your little...
In the chopper?
In your little chopper. You know, it's been a strange year, weather-wise. We're really looking forward to cool weather when we get outside and do some outdoor cooking.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we'll take our beautiful, wonderful onions. How many recipes start like this?
Almost all of them.
And you can't go wrong. I just think about stuffed peppers. You know, a lot of times it's tomatoes and ground beef.
Right.
And different people put different things. You can do an Italian one. But I started thinking about what we had. And, you know, you think about if you want this to be an entire meal, if you want a little starchy stuff in there, you want some carbs, you can put some rice. If you don't want, if you want to make them low carb, you can do that too. But anytime that we're out anywhere and I said, Nikki, what would you like to eat? What kind of food is it that you want to eat?
I like my Mexican food.
Oh, I know you do.
I do.
And I do too, but not every day,
I know.
3 times
I
a
could
day.
eat it every day.
So I thought this would make you happy,
It does.
and it made me happy because I wanted some black beans. I really did want some black beans. So this is a mix and match. Put whatever you want. You can make it hot for you, not hot for you, whatever you want to do. Now there's a reason that I'm putting the peppers in the oven first. That's the most lengthy part of it, is getting your pepper
Right.
done. So if you get your pepper already cooked ahead of time, and in this case, with a little olive oil and a little seasoning, you have a little taste there
Oh,
going
yeah.
already.
Perfect.
So as our onions get close here, let's go ahead and start putting some of that turkey in here. And think about the things that you can do with this. We talked earlier about making your own sausage, making your own sausage links. We have done everything with this thing. Such a handy thing to have around. They're not terribly expensive, but you will get use out of it. I promise you that. And here, this is just a little over a pound. And we had turkey on hand. And again, beef, sausage, Italian sausage, whatever you want to use for this. Get your pepper. Do what you want to do.
That's right.
There are no rules. Now, what we're going to do, and this is up to you, is we're going to put my chili seasoning in here. And this is a Mexican dish. You can put chili, taco seasoning, whatever you want, whatever your favorite mix is. And you can make it as hot or as not hot. But if you wanted to spice it up, you can put whatever you want in it.
I see you have some of my corn that I froze. Thank you.
That is some recent corn that we put up.
Glad to see you using it.
I'm really looking forward to this because I'm starving.
Yeah.
And I'm not eating today. I'm gonna put some corn in here, some of your fresh, beautiful
Yummy.
corn.
I could eat just that with a
Oh,
spoon
no.
like there.
No, the smell is just already amazing. So, and this is all how much of each ingredient you want. My mouth is just watering.
You gotta have black beans.
You do gotta have black beans.
This is kind of a
So-
Mexican stuffed pepper.
And
I
you
like
know
that.
what? This is really something that I've never cooked before, but I kept thinking about it. When Kelly said stuffed pepper, I thought, what would I want in my stuffed pepper? And so I started looking around at what we had, what we needed to use. And I thought, well, you know what? I know exactly what I want in there. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of
You gotta have
rice.
some rice.
I know you love your rice. Let's get the rest of those beans.
You want the rest of them?
Yeah, let's get the rest of those beans. Oh, it smells heavenly.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And we pre-cooked
Yeah,
this.
get a little bit
Make it
more.
easy.
That's
Okay.
not white rice, that's brown rice.
Yeah, so
That's
it's good
it's
for
whatever
you.
you got.
Can I have a little
This
more?
is yeah, whatever you
love
think.
rice.
I know you do. Wow, you're really loving some rice.
Okay. Can I go one more? I'll stop. I like my rice.
All right.
I could just eat rice.
Oh, look at what we
Wow.
got. Look at what we've got. Here's the point we get to when we say, okay, we want some tomatoes. Now there are canned flavored sorts of tomatoes. I don't want that because I want the pepper taste to stand out on its own. I want the bell pepper taste. So we're gonna take
Some more tomatoes.
that 14 ounces. And you can put a little salsa in there if you want. I think that'd be nice.
Kelly made this the other day.
Yes, she did.
Homemade. Makes it the best.
Oh,
Yummy.
and now we're gonna come back with even more chili seasoning.
So you put in whatever you want.
You gotta keep smelling and keep tasting as you go along. We're not doing exact measurements on this, but we've probably used 3-4 tablespoons of chili mix.
You know, if I had some
And-
chips, I'd dip my chips in here.
Oh, there's so many possibilities. Oh, this just smells so good and it's so simple. That's the fun thing to me about cooking. You follow the seasons. Nature gives you certain things and you say, okay, hey,
What do I do with
we got
this?
squash now, we have zucchini now, we have cucumbers now. What do we do with all this? Now that's the biggest part of the flavor right there.
Oh, they smell good. They smell really good.
So we're gonna turn these over now. Yum.
Ooh, can't
yummy,
wait.
Yummy.
And they're still firm, but they're cooked.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
So that's the biggest part of the deal. That's the biggest part of the game is to get those cooked. And they have a little bit of seasoning already. So I want to mix this up so the cilantro's in here. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt in there. And we use more natural salts that don't have aluminum or anything like that in them. And I'm gonna put a little black pepper. Because you like black
I
pepper.
love black pepper.
I know you do. All right, so now we're gonna start to stuff these bad boys.
Yummy.
Now Kelly's not doing dairy, but we are. At this point, this to me so brings out the flavors and so adds that
Oh, yeah.
beautiful, wonderful sour cream taste that just goes so well with this. Now, can you smell that already?
I can.
Oh,
It smells delicious.
Oh, it smells so good. I'm going to turn this down to, can you turn the oven to 350?
That one's yours. That's a huge one.
Because we're not messing around here.
That's right.
And what happens if you have more filling? Oh, for tomorrow.
More.
Now, what are we going to do?
Cheese.
Take a little bit of cheese, or a lot of cheese, depending on who you talk to, and we'll pop those in.
Ready?
At 350. Now, these are only going to have to go until your cheese melts. Now, that oven's already nice and warm, so this isn't going to take long. Oh, I'm looking so forward to this. All right.
Beautiful. Okay, something I think we need to talk about that you won't talk about that Kelly and I decided that I think your viewers need to know about is an award you just got. You got the Distinguished Rural Kentuckian Award, which is huge.
Oh, great honor.
And I want to, can I read something real quick?
If you must.
I just want to read what this award is. The Kentucky Electric Cooperatives recognize outdoorsman and television host Tim Farmer as the 2023 Distinguished Rural Kentuckian during the Co-op Association's 77th annual meeting. The Distinguished Rural Kentuckian is the highest honor bestowed by their association.
To be in the presence of these people who had won these awards before, it was a big honor.
You know what else was a big honor?
What?
Coach Cal was there. He
Coach Cal was
He was
there?
the designated speaker for the night, and he was so wonderful. We're
hoping for big things this fall.
You love Kentucky basketball, and we got to meet him, and he actually spoke, and that was wonderful, and the whole thing was great. And thanks to Joe and Wade for putting that together. They did a great job.
All right, well, I guess we'll show that, and then we'll come
I
back
think
to
we
our
need to
food.
show it and then
Okay.
eat some food.
All right.
Kentuckians already know Tim Farmer. 28 years on TV, more than 1,500 episodes.
Right here in Farmer's Kitchen.
Hello and welcome to the Farmer's Kitchen.
Tens of millions of views online. Tim's been on the cover of Kentucky Living. Twice. 25 years apart. Multiple tributes have already told his life story.
Yes, Farmer is our last name.
That's right.
Yet, Tim Farmer is still creating new highlights every day.
Go back.
So, what can Kentucky Electric Cooperatives add to the Tim Farmer story? In the co-op world, we like to say our power is our people.
And the last thing we saw was them two mules ears going down the river.
And as it turns out,
What a shot!
people are Tim Farmer's power, too.
He will light up a space with people.
I think Tim connects with viewers through his warm nature.
Tim never meets a stranger. He's just like welcoming to any and everybody.
It's fun to see people that just love him, like just absolutely, and then feel like they know him.
I think the real thing is he connects with every person from everywhere.
He is exactly what you thought he was when you watched the program that he's hosting.
So he's just a tremendous inspiration for everyone.
My first place in Maysville was up on a hill on this beautiful farm in the middle of nowhere. So creeks, ponds, horses, cows, and it was just a perfect youth.
He's comfortable with people. I noticed this at an early age, and it used to worry this mother.
And I saw this old guy, and I'd seen him in the school bus. He was under a bridge, and they called him the Troll.
He would walk up to anybody if there was something that interested him about them and start talking to them, just like he'd known them forever.
And he would just deftly cut those muskrat legs off and twist them up, put them up, skin them, and put them in his pocket. And I saw him, and like in a ditch, like over there. I thought, that's the guy, that's the Troll.
I used to worry, he's going to be kidnapped. I know he's going to be kidnapped.
So we moved to Grayson. And up there, I'd run into people like Dexter Wilburn and Arnold Bush, and these guys were in their 70s during shakeout season, climbing trees barefooted and shaking out possums and, screaming, laughing, and drinking whiskey. And those are the guys that taught me just everything about the outdoors, and that's who I hung out with, if I wasn't by myself. My plan was to do 20 years in the Marine Corps, retire at 38, and then do another 20 years in the state police. That's what I thought I was going to do.
On leave after visiting his parents in Carter County, the 20-year-old Marine was heading back to his Naval Air Base in Memphis when he lost control of his motorcycle.
And there was gravel and coal dust and whatever, and I hit that 30 miles an hour. I had time to look at my speedometer, and I thought, I'm going down. There wasn't any way to stop it. So I went under the guardrail and got pinned between the bike, and I felt a huge bang and a bump, but I didn't. You can't feel anything when you have that much trauma. And I think your body just shuts you down.
Bleeding profusely, his right arm all but lost, Tim survived. But a long and painful recovery led to the ultimate realization he had lost use of his arm mid-bicep down.
Well, there were surgeries, and they took nerves out of both legs and put them on my arm. That was unsuccessful. So basically, then I was left with the pain. Unrelenting, horrific pain.
The painkillers he was prescribed sapped his energy, so Tim decided to lean on his will instead.
One day I woke up and, man, I could smell, could taste. I wanted to eat, and I wanted to go fishing. And so I thought, wow, I'm done with this. I'm done. Now, the pain was overwhelming. And I called him. I said, when is this going to stop? When's it going to get better? He said, it's going to get worse. I'm like, okay, well, there's that. So what I figured out was when I was fishing or busy or working, you didn't have as much time to think about it. So I started staying real busy.
Tim entered college, first with the idea of becoming a history teacher, then biology, all the while hunting and fishing and catching the attention of a game warden who convinced him to apply for a job at the Department of Fish and Wildlife.
And I could tell there was a little hesitation there. So I said, well, listen, I really want to work here. I said, I'm sure there's some sort of period of time where you see if I can do it. If not, we'll part ways, no big deal. I said, but I would really like to work here, and I think you'll find I'll be able to do it.
And here he is shooting a bow with his teeth, and he goes fishing. He can cast farther than we can cast.
I like it.
You do like
I like that. I do like that.
Usually you say less.
I do like
so
that.
You do like the action.
I like that.
Okay.
And he even developed something where he can play guitar. And it's just amazing. Here's this guy who goes to work for Fish and Wildlife. A few years later, he's named the host of the longest running outdoor program in America.
No, to your left now, farmer, to your left. Left, farmer.
Just a down-home Kentucky boy, just natural. My hesitancy behind the camera, I would always ask him, how do you just do that so naturally? And it's something that he doesn't even think about.
That's probably the funnest part of being in a dove field. As you get older, you enjoy hanging out with your buddies more and more.
It wasn't a high-paying job. I always had to do a side gig. But just to get to go out with people and meet a bunch of people, quality people, good salt-of-the-earth people. And the old guys, man, I wore them out.
How many people now understand the nexus between what rural Kentucky means and the economy for the state of Kentucky relative to tourism and hunting and fishing.
And then when I kind of got into the position of being in Kentucky Field, I started getting some calls. Tim, my uncle's had a stroke.
Well, a lot of the patients we took care of, you could imagine, a little depressed and concerned about their disabilities or injuries. Tim would come to the hospital and buoy him up, cheer him up, and say, listen, guy, this is my disability. But it's not really a disability. There are things you can do, and on and on and on. And that started the relationship between us and Cardinal Hill.
People will call him, he'll go and help people that have injuries like him, and he'll help them get hooked up to shoot a bow, to play an instrument. He's just amazing, and he's got time for everybody. I don't care who calls or has something going on, he'll stop what he's doing and he'll help them.
Nikki and I got together 23 years ago.
Nikki's a special person. I always tell people, you know, I'm about to introduce you to Tim Farmer, but you got to meet his wife, Nikki. She is great.
So you feel free?
I do, and they promise not to push me.
Don't push her.
And I think Tim needs somebody
He
that's
needs
full of
her.
energy because he's got lots of energy too, and so they complement each other.
I thought he was super good looking. I mean, he walked in the door. I mean, he's a good looking man. I mean, he'll turn heads. So I'm like, wow. And then he was very sweet and kind, and we just hit it off.
We kind of like each other. Our kids, we have 5 between us.
Lindsay, Elizabeth, Kelly, Rebecca, and Nicholas.
No, it's always fun. We always have games. There's always something fun planned.
Just all good kids. They all get along. They're all respectful.
We did make fun of him because we didn't know. And he had a glove on, so I asked if he was Michael Jackson. I was in 7th grade, so I apologize now.
From the beginning, when Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen launched in 2012, Kelly has been the videographer and editor with a new show every week.
We've met such great people, and I feel like he's just so good at finding some of the like salt of the earth people is what he likes to call them. And I think that's why people connect with him so well. So he's just a normal guy, just asking the questions that we all would ask if we were in that situation.
Do you remember getting electricity?
We didn't get electric till our second son was born on Big Run.
And I was like, those are the stories that he brings out of people with not necessarily even having to ask.
I met a French chef named Raoul Dupree. Oh my gosh.
So he was the game changer, right?
He was the game changer. So he took me under his wing and started showing me sauces and how to put this flavor together, use this spice that I'd never heard of. And that's how this whole thing started. Your kitchen is your mad scientist area, and we practice and we play and we experiment all the time.
He has done things for so long that he could have done something else and maybe made more from it, but he did what he thought he should do, what he was called to, and what he enjoyed. And
He is a true rural Kentuckian.
What were you thinking today when I called you?
Well, I thought you were just another one of your practical jokes, but he has a long-time love affair with this state, and the state has a love affair with him. We just hit him, man, and I got to give you credit for knocking me out of a good day's work. If Kentucky wanted to pick an ambassador, a traveling ambassador for the state, they couldn't do any better than Tim Farmer.
Oh, wow.
That's dense.
Oh, wow.
All right, that's stupid.
That's really good.
Katie's proud to be sharing Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen with PBS audiences across the country by sharing the natural beauty and bounty of our Commonwealth through their kind and genuine approach. They're wonderful ambassadors for all things Kentucky.
This is not even right.
Wow.
What he has meant to the outdoor world in Kentucky is probably immeasurable.
You think about the number of extraordinary circumstances it took to be sitting in this chair, to be alive at all. So why would we not celebrate every day the fact that, I mean, just the extraordinary beauty of everything around. If we can take a look around and see that beauty, why not? Just jump out there, just enjoy life. Short time. That was a great honor.
That was.
And I'm going to thank those folks for thinking about me and believing in me. And
You deserved it.
Well,
you
thank you
really
very
do
much.
deserve that.
Thank you very much.
I
I
think
appreciate
you're
that.
a pretty amazing guy.
So that being said, it's time to eat. This is beautiful.
Those peppers are done perfect. That is so delicious. This is kind of healthy.
I mean, when you really think about it, that's turkey. Yeah, it is. And it's fairly low carb if it hadn't been for the rice. That is delicious. And it's one of those simple pleasures that are so easy to take care of. There's so many variations you can do. But if you want to try that one, I think you'd like it awful well.
Oh, it's delicious. You outdid yourself as always. Thank you for the Mexican twist on that for me.
I knew you'd love it. So, Mrs. Farmer, if you were wandering around,
like I
lost
do.
in the desert,
Like
and
I
somebody
do.
came up to you and said, Mrs. Farmer, we see your show. How can I get your recipes? What would you tell them?
I say go to timfarmerscountrykitchen.com.
And if they were also computer savvy and really wanted to be our Facebook friend, which is it's really difficult to get on our
Yes,
page.
it is.
What do you have to do? How many steps are there to get through?
There's one big step. Hit like.
That being said, our half hour is up. We have some wonderful food.
Yes, we do.
And remember, it's all about
good times,
good friends,
and really good eats.
We'll see you next week. We have been catering for a lot of years, and I wanted everything to have a specific taste. Therefore, I had to come up with my own products.
Right.
A dry rub, chow chow, and our barbecue sauce are something that we use in all our catering gigs. I developed this barbecue sauce that is not the really thick, syrupy stuff that you get. This has more of a natural, it's got some pepper and onion flavor in it. You can actually see the particulates in there. You know, a lot of people are asking what we use our dry rub on. Now, obviously, pork and chicken are two of the more common things. Also, we've been using on our corn on the cob with butter.
That is.
I'm telling you, this stuff
wonderful.
with potatoes is fantastic. So 40 years in the making, Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen Dry Rub.